All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers and subscribers from all over the world. It is my pleasure to host you once again on The Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted channel for political analysis. Fiscal disaster. ADC says Tinubu's borrowing is 10 times worse than Buhari's. The African Democratic Congress has expressed outrage over what it describes as fiscal vandalism by the Tinubu administration following the approval of yet another 21 billion in foreign loans by the National Assembly. The party says this new wave of borrowing will drive Nigeria's public debt beyond 200 trillion naira before the end of the year, with no corresponding development or economic revival to justify it. Now, we can't stress this enough. One of the reasons given for subsidy removal was that it would end our borrowings. But 2 years after subsidy removal, Tinubu has taken more loans than 4 presidents put together. And what have we done with all these loans? You tell me, because I can't see anything. But when the sky falls, it is not one man's business. And that is why I keep telling everybody, that is why we are screaming now that Nigerians must cast sentiments aside and come together to get the APC out of power. Because the depth that these evil men that form the APC want Nigerians to fall to is unimaginable. If we don't rise now to get them out, this country may never survive. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that update coming out of Zamfara State. This one shows that Northwest would have to choose between the soul of their region and the APC. It is either they kill the APC and save the Northwest, or bury the entire Northwest to keep the APC alive. And next is that protest from APC supporters in Lagos State. Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu shamed as Lagos APC supporters cry out against bad governance. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video by Sambo.
So the issue of the Senate leadership that I talked about, there are so many issues actually that are ongoing, like what had happened to Natasha and all of that. People think that the Senate president seems to be personalizing the issues, and you would have seen that even the issues that went before the court, it was the Senate president that went to court, not the Senate as an institution and all of that. So, I mean, there are those talks here and there that Senator Akpabio needs to understand when issues have to do with the office of the Senate president, different from himself when issues have to do with him. And this also shows the sort of leadership that is being expected of him. He should understand that the office of Senate president is a highly exalted position. There needs to be more communication. You're first among equal, talk more, do more. And yeah, I mean, the tendency is not for it to be antagonistic to the executive, but of course, it's not everything that should come from the executive that should just pass through easily. So these are some of the things that his colleagues expect from him because, you know, they don't like the stamp, the rubber stamp tag that we keep tagging on them as Nigerians. On the issue of the ADC you talked about, I think the APC will just be joking if it just keeps taking the ADC as just one of those political parties that can toy around with. I mean, the APC started at this formative stage when a whole lot of Nigerians didn't give them opportunities. They were laughing at them. There's a lot of disaffection within the APC itself. Some governors who would want to take certain steps, maybe towards ADC, wouldn't want to do that right now because of the body language of the president and all of that. Yes, while the ADC has its own issues, and we haven't really seen a clear path from that political party led by Senator David Mark at the moment, and of course with all the legal entanglement surrounding their coming together. Nonetheless, I think those in the governing party should be very careful, because if you had listened to what Senator Ali Ndume had said, I mean, some time ago, he said, it's the politicians that are defecting, the people are not defecting. So where exactly are people's body language going towards? That's what I think the APC should be thinking towards.
You heard that. Sambo spoke on 2 issues there. First one is about how Senate President Godswill Akpabio is leading the Senate at the moment and how the other senators perceive it. And the next one is about how the ruling party APC sees the coalition ADC. On the issue of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, I think there is a lot of hypocrisy from other senators. There was only one reason why Tinubu handpicked Akpabio over Yari during the fight of who will become Senate president. It is because Tinubu wanted a Senate president that will do every single thing he wants without even asking any question or consulting anybody. He wanted a personality that will make it seem as if he, Tinubu, is the one sitting there as the Senate president. And he found that in Akpabio, and that was why he handpicked Akpabio. So when others supported Akpabio and voted him, they cannot come and tell me that they expected him to do anything different. So Nigerians see them as a rubber stamped Senate, and that is how they will remain. They can never change because they have all sold out. And on the issue of the All Progressive Congress APC underrating the ADC, that is not true at all. The APC ruling party is actually scared, jittery, ever since the ADC was unveiled. And talking about the body language of the people, where is it tilting to? The people are just looking for an alternative. Any alternative they find, they will go for it. We are talking about a situation where food items tripled and quadrupled in prices. And we are not talking about food alone. Electricity tariffs, the same thing. School fees, the same thing. Insecurity, widespread. People cannot point at a single thing that has not become tremendously worse from where Buhari left it. So Nigerians have no other option than to rise up against the APC. The only option that the APC has now is to rig the elections. And that is why we are asking Nigerians to defend their votes. And we are also telling the coalition ADC to begin to press buttons as regards the transfer of election results from the polling unit to the IREV. Because if the rigging of the APC is contained, before 12 o'clock on election day, Tinubu will be out of Aso Rock. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that despicable one coming out of Zamfara state. The soul of the Northwest is about to be completely snatched away by the inefficiencies and the complicity of the APC. And next is that protest coming from APC supporters in Lagos. Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu shamed as their supporters cry over bad leadership. Let's start by taking that update coming out of Zamfara state. Look at how the papers reported it. Bandits kill 38 hostages in Zamfara after 15 million naira ransom payment. Lawmaker apologizes. Some bandits who kidnapped no fewer than 56 residents of Banga village in Kara Namoda local government area of Zamfara state have reportedly killed 38 of the victims despite a ransom payment of over 50 million naira. A resident of the village, Aminu Musa Banga, who confirmed the incident, said the victims were kidnapped over the past few months, with the abductors initially demanding 1 million naira for each person's release, according to leadership. These bandits killed 38 of our men and one woman while they were in their custody. We received this report from 16 of our people who were released by these bandits. Leadership quoted Banga as saying, wow, what else can I say? This is what the APC have reduced this country to. Human beings, lives wasting daily. 38 people killed. And nobody, no official from the APC has said anything about it. No word of it from the Minister of Information. No word of it from Aso Rock. No spokesperson has said anything. Instead, they are crowning the new APC chairman, and he is vowing that all the governors must decamp to the APC. That is what he's going about saying. And in his own state, Plateau State, people are still being killed daily. This is the party that is ruling this country. And this is why we are putting this information out to you, so that anywhere you are watching this from, you will judge if I am just being a critic of government or I'm saying the right thing when I say that these people need to be kicked out. We need people with conscience. 38 people killed, no word from any government quarters. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Henry Eke says, this here is a tragedy that doesn't look like it is going to end anytime. Remove the incompetent people in power so that those that can do the job will come in. It's as simple as that. with these same people, we are never going anywhere with trying to nip insecurity in the bud because their hands are not even clean. And Idara here says only APC politicians ask for amnesty and unjust benefits for these pathetic monsters. I bet they share proceeds with them. They might not necessarily share proceeds with them, but the fact is that they are like an arm of the APC, because at the formation of the party, they were the ones that brought in many of these miscreants to fight Jonathan if he didn't give up power. But look at where that has landed us today. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, that protest by APC supporters, Lagos State, began making the rounds. Look at how the papers reported it. We are hungry. We are suffering. APC members protest in Lagos over failed leadership. This comes as they lamented neglect and suffering, which they described were the results of a failure of leadership in the state. Let them save us in Alimosho, Ikotun, Igondo. If not, it will affect 2027. They have betrayed us. They have betrayed us. One of the protesters noted. Another person who identified herself as Ashabia Dejumo stated that her children had benefited nothing from the state government. I am Ashabia Dejumo from Ikorodu West. We have not seen anything. We are hungry. There is nothing. Even in the last elections, people did not want to come out. There is nothing. They are making us suffer. No education for our children. So what are we in Nigeria for? The protesters also accused the embattled party chairman of mismanaging the conduct of local government elections in the state. The deputy governor of Lagos State, Obafemi Hamzat, while commenting on the development, described the protest and agitations as a party affair that would be resolved as soon as possible. Wow, you saw that. Now, those were APC supporters in Lagos State crying out, saying that leadership has completely collapsed within the APC and within Lagos State. They said, we have not seen anything. You know what they mean by we have not seen anything? They have not received their own share of the loot. That is what they mean. They say they are hungry. Their children cannot go to school. They have not received anything for their support for the APC. This is one thing I admire about the APC. They know how to use and dump the gullible masses that have refused to shame them. Highest they will do for them is to give them 2 noodles of rice and 10,000 naira each. And after 5 days, they'll be back in the same boat of suffering, because that is what the APC specializes in, making you to suffer, making you to wallow in pain. And of course, they have come out massively in Lagos today to disgrace Sanwo-Olu and to disgrace Tinubu, but they have also disgraced themselves, because those words they were uttering from their mouths shows how despicable they are as human beings. You have not seen anything. Are you supposed to be looking for personal gain, or for your nation to be good, or for your country to improve? We have been talking about having a system of government that can make Nigeria better, while some people in 2025 are still looking for crumbs that they can get from individuals. This is shameful. This is disgraceful, but it gives us joy that it is the APC supporters in Lagos that came out to disgrace Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu, casting aspersions on their ability as leaders. And Alabasta here says, as long as you support APC, you will continue with hunger. You guys better look for options. That is the truth. Because the rate at which they are fighting at the very top of the party, it shows clearly that the loot is not even enough for them at the very top. There's going to be an implosion soon. People are looking for positions. They are dragging. Even this present APC chairman is set to bring serious splits within the party, because so many big wigs within the APC don't agree with the choice of that man as APC chairman. The man was single-handedly, he was handpicked to be APC chairman by Tinubu. So he's not the choice of many. Now, the people of Northwest, the people of Kano said that now that Ganduje has been removed, they must be compensated with 2 other key positions, and they are seeking to remove Yorubas from those key positions. All these things are interesting things that are still going to unfold. These are the things that are going to lead to the implosion of the APC. So who has time for some supporters in Lagos to come and attend to them? Nobody has time for you. The best they can do for you is to give you 10,000 naira and 3 noodles of rice and 2 cups of beans to sprinkle on top and cook. That's the best they can do for you, gullible supporters who have refused to stand firm against the APC in support of the country of your birth. But I hope that with this level of suffering that the APC has meted on them, and with the suffering that is going to increase in the coming days in this country, as predicted by the United Nations, by the World Health Organizations, and all experts that are following proceedings in Nigeria, everybody head go correct. Even the UN food program has said that by the end of this July, they are going to cease the food aid that they are giving to northeast Nigeria. Over 1.3 million people are being fed directly by the United Nations food program, and that is stopping by the end of July. Everybody will feel the heat of this inefficiency, of this despicable leadership by Tinubu, and maybe then every Nigerian will come together and say enough is enough. We cannot continue to suffer like this in a country that has so much. And when we begin to think like that, I am telling you, we will be able to come together and easily take this country back. But until then, make I still enter town, make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because now because of una, I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.